I'm from Tanzania. I did my degree in Fine and Performing Arts, and I am currently and always have been a fashion lover. Currently I am doing an EVS, it's the European Voluntary Service, and I have been selected, if I should say, or I applied to this program, and I am basically working on a project that is art and culture for unity under EVS.
Why did you decide to apply for that project?
Actually, it's a very funny story because at first I really knew nothing about it, and I remember because I was doing my degree in Fine and Performing Arts, and one of the teachers that was teaching in the university that actually happens to be the owner of the sending organization called me in his office, and he was a very harsh guy, and he looked at me and said, "Stacy, so there's this project and it's actually in Bulgaria," and I was just like, "Are you in?" "Yeah." And I was like, "What did I say?" And he's like, "Okay, I'm applying for you, wait a second." And he emailed the director from Bulgaria, and she immediately responded with an invitation. Like, everything happened in like 10 seconds, and he was like, "Here's the invitation letter, work on your passport." I'm like, what is happening right now? I said, okay, so I'm applying for this. Can you at least tell me what this is? And you should have asked me that before I sent the invitation letter. I'm like, okay, let me just do this. But then later I actually Googled and I started to understand what it was, and I said, okay, actually it's a good thing.
So you were a perfect candidate.
Yeah.
What is the idea of your personal project?
Like I said before, it's all about fashion, and I'm kind of an addict in that field. But basically it's a fashion show. That's the final project. But what I had in mind at first was to start like a series of fashion classes, like a club, and to teach people how to get to making their own fashion show, because I know being in the fashion industry, that's one of the hardest tasks to do, to actually make a fashion show. And when I was in my country, I actually hosted my own fashion show. So for me, this was a piece of cake. Not really, but kind of a piece of cake. And I really love sharing the knowledge that I have. So what I started to do was first get into schools like Lulin, for instance, and do workshops on how to do different things, like how to prepare collection, something like that, and then work my way from there to building a fashion show. And so that's it, a fashion show.
And about fashion club, everyone can join, or it's like limited number of places?
Yeah, well, at first I was thinking we could make like 2 different clubs, one for anyone that wants to join that's not in school, because usually people that are working don't really like mixing with students from school, teenagers, they don't like that. And another was specifically the schools, so I would go to the school and teach them right there and then. But I cannot say that it's been entirely successful, because also language is kind of hard. So most people are they're scared to join, because they're like, okay, she's definitely speaking English, the post is in English, no discussion. So we stuck with the school actually, because it was easy. You just go there and you find people there. It's easier. You don't have to advertise all the time. Yeah.
What about different activities?
Okay, so our organization does different events, and also it depends with the people in the organization. And at the moment there are 4 of us from Africa, and I'm from Tanzania, and there's another one from Tanzania, and 2 are from Uganda. And basically I can say this as an additional point, that the one thing I love about my organization is that they don't give us a limit of thinking. So they're always pushing us to think beyond and think, what do we want to do? Do we want to host workshops or something like that? So far we've had like a movie night before. It happened last month actually, and it was actually introduced last year by another volunteer from Tanzania, and the basic idea was to just present a movie from an African country and discuss, like make a panel at the end of it.
What was the biggest challenge for you so far?
I would say the language, because sometimes you have so much to communicate, but you don't have a way to communicate. It's me it's more of speaking, because I can write it and I can read it. I just don't know what it means, but I can read it. For me it's more of speaking, and then sometimes I'm too forgetful. So I learn a word and I'm like, wait, what does that mean again? See, and I just get stuck between, and I get discouraged when I want to conversate with someone. And for me that's really in a way discouraging for me, because I plan to do so many things, like for instance the fashion club, and I cannot entirely advertise it as much as because people want to join but they're like, we don't speak English and I don't speak Bulgarian, so I feel like heartbroken sometimes, but everything else apart from the language is a piece of cake.
It's a very nice place to live.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place actually. Yeah.
But you said that you're able to communicate, so I think it's a, great success.
Yeah, it's well, for the help of the inventor of Google Translate, of course. But it's still a challenge, because I have to have my phone on me all the time, and I'm like, wait, just a second. And then some people are impatient, so they're like, can you look for someone else to do this with you, And I really try, but still I'm not in that conversating stage of the language, yeah. So. For me, EVS really changed me, because I know I was always a daring person, and I would always try to see how far my leg will get in the water. But there was always that barrier that I kept for myself, that I wouldn't cross the border. And the first time I heard actually, okay, about the project, I was like, okay, it's actually a very nice project and program. And then I heard that it's not in Tanzania, it's not in Africa, and I was like, what? For 6 months gone just like that. I was like so disappointed in a way, and I said, no, but I don't want to, because in my opinion I'm very patriotic. But when I got to Bulgaria, no thanks to the winter, I wanted to go back home. But after that, after time of realization, and it took me time actually to see that you need to be open, for opportunities, and you cannot have a still mind to say, okay, I only want to stay here and I want to get there. You can't do that. So you have to step out of your comfort zone, do things you usually wouldn't do. And for me, I feel like right now I get challenges, and of course I revert to my old self and I say, I could just pretend I don't know that. But then this EVS new Stacy would be like, come on, where's the fun in that? Get up and do it. And I feel like it's given me that extra courage, or if their personalities, maybe it gave me an extra personality to always think, what do I have to lose?